Thanks for being with us here this afternoon. Central Texas has seen its wettest start to July on record. That catastrophic rainfall that we saw is setting the stage for the rest of the summer. Chief Meteorologist Bannin is tracking all this for us. So that's a big question that I had is what is this going to do for the months down the line?
Well, that's something I'm going to try to answer for you.
Okay.
Of course, I'll say that tropics are the wild card because we can expect what we can expect for the rest of summer. But if we were to get another tropical system in, that would throw a wrench into things. And this is what I mean when we say the wettest start to July. The first 7 days of July in Austin at Camp Mabry, more than 5 inches of rain. No first 7 days of July have ever been wetter. Of course, we've had more rain since then, although not a lot of it has reached Austin. That means that if we don't get any more rain for the rest of July, it will still be the 10th wettest July on record, even if we're dry from here on out, because we have had some additional rain since that first week, just not as wet as that first week. And I want to compare what is typical for the summer pattern, especially in July here in Central Texas and I guess statewide, right? Usually we've got high pressure either on top of us or centered just to our west. That means sinking air. That sinking air prevents clouds from rising, from rain from forming, so it keeps us hot and dry. So sinking air preventing clouds and rain keeps us hot and dry. But what we've had the last 2 weeks, high pressure to the west, another high to the east of us, that has opened up the door in the middle here for storms to drift in, as well as less sinking air, allowing for more lift to develop more clouds and more rain. And we've also had no strong steering flow, so once storms arrived into Central Texas, they had nothing to kick them out. So it meant day after day of rain and storms. So what does this mean for the rest of the summer? Well, so much of that is based on the wet soil that we have in place. When you've got wet soil, when the sun's energy helps to try to evaporate the moisture in that soil, that moisture then ends up in the air. That makes for more humid days and nights. More humid nights means warmer nighttime lows, but the more humid the days are, the tougher it is to get temperatures to get very hot because the sun's energy is trying to heat this wetter air and it doesn't do so as efficiently. Still going to get hot in the afternoons, but those afternoons would be cooler than if the air was dry. However, on the flip side, even if the air temperatures are not quite as hot, meaning upper 90s or around 100 instead of 105 or 110, you still get higher heat index or feels like temperatures because the humidity is so much higher. But the beneficial side, as well as the improvements in the drought in our lake levels and aquifers, lower wildfire risk. So that these are a lot of the factors that we'll be looking at here over the next few weeks and even perhaps the next couple of months. We're already starting to see big signs of a pattern change beginning tomorrow and heading through the week as that high pressure to the east of us starts to slide over Central Texas as we head through the week, bringing an end to the daily rainfall chances and gradually heating up our air. And by the way, on KXAN.com right now, on the homepage, in fact, you can check out the in-depth blog I wrote here this morning, How July Rains Change the Rest of Summer. As far as what's happening outside right now, sunshine, scattered clouds. We're still dry in the Austin metro, keeping an eye on those downpours and storms moving from south to north through the hill country. So far, no additional flash flood warnings here this afternoon, but still the potential for at least flood advisory level rain, given some of the areas seeing downpour after downpour for you in San Saba and now western Llano County into eastern Mason County. And there's a few more of these trying to slide into southwestern Gillespie County, although that's fairly light rain. Nothing here in the metro at this point. It's still possible we can get a stray shower or storm to bubble up. Not seeing any signs of that happening in the next hour, though. So most of the activity is going to be in the hill country over the next few hours. You can see what our computer models do, keeping that hill country in the majority of the rain, but still that chance for a stray shower in the metro. And then as we head later into the evening, the rain coverage in the hill country goes down as drier weather takes over. We'll start with some low clouds tomorrow morning and then a lot of sunshine here for tomorrow afternoon, mixing with a few scattered clouds. And that should be the theme for a lot of the rest of the next 7 days. So tonight, low clouds will come in. Once we get past sunset, the rain chances will drop from 20 to 30% where it is right now, still mostly in the hill country, down to just 10%. And then as we get nearer to midnight, rain chances down near 0 after that. Overnight lows of 76. And then tomorrow, dry. Early morning clouds giving way to a mostly sunny day. Temperatures up to 96. It will be a bit breezy here tomorrow. A south wind of 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's a look at our first warning weather 7-day forecast. You can see the pattern of morning clouds giving way quickly to a lot of sun. It's going to be with us on Thursday. We do expect a few more clouds around Friday and the tiniest chance for a shower mostly in our eastern counties. That is our only mini rain chance over the next week after today. And then beginning this weekend through early next week, we're back to the pattern again of early clouds giving way to a lot of sunshine. I want to draw your attention to the tropics. This disturbed weather here moving through Florida is moving westward into the Gulf, and it's got a chance of becoming our next tropical depression or stronger. Right now, National Hurricane Center giving it 40% odds in the next 2 and 7 days of becoming at least a tropical depression. If it becomes a tropical storm, it would get a name. That name would be Dexter. You can see the spaghetti plots or the forecast tracks of this storm. Generally keep it only in the northern Gulf for a little bit before it goes inland. Most likely that would happen in Louisiana, and would keep the rain away from us here in Texas. We'll keep an eye on this storm, though. Of course, anything that enters the Gulf is something that we track.